Good afternoon, guys. Really happy that you all could join us at the Global Art and Design Education Expo today. I hope you are having a wonderful learning experience at the event. Okay, so today we have with us Ms. Kushnam Mirza from the Savannah College of Art and Design, which is popularly known as SCAD. SCAD is the most comprehensive art and design university in the world, which offers more than 100 degree programs. They have over 40 majors and 75 minors in this field, and of course, a lot of different specializations, right? So at SCAD, Kushanam is the Assistant Director of International Admissions, and she is also an experienced senior designer, illustrator, and she has a lot of work experience working in the graphic and illustration industry. Okay, so just a little more background about Kushnam. She completed her bachelor's degree from Symbiosis Institute of Design in Pune, where she focused on industrial and product design. Then she went on to complete her master's in fine arts, again in illustration and graphic design at the Savannah College of Art and Design. So Kushnam has a great work experience working in Mumbai, Pune, and also Atlanta with many advertising agencies, creative shops, and educational institutions. So right now she's based in Hong Kong, and she loves helping students to find their creative niche, right? So today her session is going to focus on creative careers and basically creative careers in the 21st century. Okay, so really excited about this session. I'm sure you guys are too. So Kushnam, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys really do your research in terms of who's coming and how and when they're coming. And I'm very excited. I see so many of you logging in. I've seen a couple of you in our SCAD booth talking to Dilip. And I'm hoping this hour has been very informative to all. I absolutely love connecting with students, and the entire team at SCAD is here to help you understand all different majors that are possible within this world of creative careers. And so, because we're on a very tight schedule, I just want to first share my screen and then begin with the presentation so you guys can have a more fruitful hour of session. To those who have not been able to log on to our website or do not have much information, I want to give you a brief introduction about SCAD. And as Mithali mentioned, we are popularly known as SCAD, but we are Savannah College of Art and Design, and we are recognized as the University for Creative Careers. Now, within this field, all students who have a creative bone in their body will come to SCAD because they want to dream something different. They want to experience and collaborate with new careers of the 21st century. And this is exactly what we offer at our university. But I also want to tell you that it's so diverse with the kind of students we get from all 50 states of the US, and then we have over 115 countries where students travel to SCAD. In fact, it is known for its amazing international student body of 29%. That's so high in the United States. And the reason they come to this university is because we are so dedicated and focused towards creative careers. We have over 100 different programs, more than 40 majors and 75 minors, where we offer studies and specializations of design, technology, and art within the US and in Europe. So, to give you more understanding about these programs and to help you explore and make it easier for your research, I just want to extend my knowledge and share information about the new programs that you must have never heard in this industry. And I'm sure when it comes to design, students wonder if it even comes under STEM extension. But I am so happy to tell you that within those majors, we do have 18 recognized programs for STEM extension. So I'm sure names like advertising, animation, graphic design will be very familiar, but we are going to discuss about immersive reality. We'll talk about luxury and fashion management. We'll talk about social strategy and management, user experience design, because these are careers that are in demand, especially after COVID. The virtual world has connected design with creativity and technology to a whole new level. And so we're going to talk about that in a few moments here. But I also want to give you more perspective about SCAD because it's a global university with 4 locations. The first one is in Atlanta, which is in the state of Georgia. The second is in France, that is in Europe, which is called SCAD Lacoste. The third one, as the name goes, it's in Savannah, which is also in the United States. And the fourth one, which is very popular now, established for 22 years, is SCAD e-learning, where we've been offering online programs and degrees for so many years, and it has definitely been amazing for our students to transition between online and on campus. And we understand that pandemic has made that very crucial, but our students have, transitioned very smoothly. So now I also want to help you understand why it is important to continue with your education. To give you more advantages in this increasingly globalized economy, we offer several ways for you to learn. The first one is where you will travel to the US, come to our campuses, so that's real time on ground. The second one is SCAD Now, where you will be connected just as we are through virtual platforms and meet with professors, meet with professionals coming from the industry through Zoom and through SCAD platforms. And the third one is because we understand there's time differences with time zones, so you can learn and collaborate on projects with your own time and schedule with your professor. So it does not have to necessarily be virtual learning, which is why I am so proud to say that we are known as the University for Creative Careers. And within this umbrella, we have so many different segmentations of design. There's digital communication fields, there's building arts, there's fashion, there's so many more. So I just want to begin with digital media careers. I'm sure some of you are familiar with fields like advertising, animation, there's graphic design, visual effects, and illustration. But did you guys know that now communication world has expanded beyond these fields to even user experience design? There's immersive reality, there's interactive design and game development, social strategy and management, motion media design. And I know these are words that I'm throwing at you right now, but I want you to understand and research what these fields mean. Let's begin with user experience design. Now, user experience, popularly known as UX, is such an ever-evolving field. SCAD students have literally been working, collaborating with Google, because this program was developed and collaborated with Google. About 10 years ago, when the existence of UX was not in this world, we recognized the need for this program, and which is why we offer this as a bachelor degree program at SCAD. SCAD students constantly find inspirations in our very own think tank studios for robotics, prototyping, electronics, AR, VR, that is all about virtual segmentation, computer labs, and even our user testing shops. SCAD students will always have access to premium tools at their fingertips. These are cutting edge resources that you can avail. You can network with people who come from these Fortune 500 companies for user experience design, such as Google, IBM, Lenovo, and this is how you capitalize your networking opportunities. Each year at SCAD, I'm so excited to tell you guys this. We host many signature events. A few of those are SCAD Gaming Fests, Animation Fests, and this particular one is SCAD Pro, where students collaborate with companies to develop creative solutions for real-world problems. So to give you an example, right now, our SCAD students are working with Uber to create the future of flying cars using user experience design. If you don't believe me, just type SCAD and Uber on YouTube today, and you'll see that creative magic that they're coming up with. So these are fields that I want you all to be aware of. I want you all to understand how potentially impressive it is for the future. There's another field which is very, uncommon right now, but as and when we grow into this world, immersive reality is where the new generation meets augmented reality. From Siri to Alexa on various mobile devices, automobile interiors, healthcare, financial industries, immersive reality will be creating new experiences for with a more meaningful and a more approachable manner. It is literally the creative career that thinks outside the box. And because career preparation is at the heart of SCAD, we always tell our students that it is very important from day one to be focused on your career aspects and not just education. So, for example, our graduate Andrew Siebert, who landed his dream job with Google, is changing the world of virtual reality. I'm sure some of you have played Pokemon Go, and if you ever wonder who came up with that idea, you know where to find us. Let's also have a little glance at what animation and illustration careers have to offer. Because I'm sure that when students come, they want to understand how do we develop our signature style for 2D or 3D animations, or even stop motion, digital modeling, rigging, lighting. There's so much that goes within animation and illustration. But when you come to SCAD, we will help you understand these different lightings and look developments as you work with top companies and peers. Just like in the real world, it is very important to have practical experience for these creative careers. For example, my friends, Zach and Nathan, I just wanted to put this slide here because they met as roommates at SCAD. And now they are the character designers for many famous movies like Zootopia, Moana. They've even worked for Wreck-It Ralph too. So this is why we keep telling students that when you have the opportunity to work hands-on, to have real-world experiences, which will set you apart and will help you, tap into the industry and work with films like Incredibles 2 and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, one of the most iconic animated films. That is how you start developing a great portfolio and resume towards your creative field. Moving a little different from animation, stepping into this new world of visual effects, I'm sure that students in India would find visual effects very appealing because that's where graphics are brought to life. So this industry has been gaining a lot of popularity, just as animation are, or even live action films are getting that phenomenal, impressive standpoint with visual effects. For example, our students have been working on films such as Avengers Endgame. We've had students working on Star Wars and even Toy Story 4. And if you want to even gauge the number of students working on these projects, there are more than 200 every quarter working with Pixar, Disney, and many other live action studios and companies because our campus in Atlanta will be the hub for Hollywood. So if you want to tap into those careers, you know where to go and where to find the right connection. And if you guys are Netflix binge watchers just like me, then I'm sure you would have seen our very own student, Meet Ali's work, because he's done incredible work with Frozen, The Incredible Hulk, with X-Men First Class, and even Spider-Man 3. So you kind of understand the way I'm talking about visual effects. This is taking, moving, creating effects for live action movies. Motion media design, I'm sure familiar because it's all about moving graphics. And SCAD is recognized for this very program as #1 by the Rookies magazine. If you don't really know what the Rookies mean, then I will tell you it's the Oscar for creative minds. So if you are interested to understand the concept of taking illustration into a whole new world of moving illustration, then motion media would be your creative career. I also want to tap into a new segmentation called ITGM, which is Interactive Design and Game Development. You guys have to understand there's a whole array of jobs and opportunities, not just in gaming worlds, but also with interactive design, where even companies like HSBC banks will come to you and say, we want our users to have more fun while they're banking. And where do you get that kind of talent? You get it from interactive design and game development. SCAD students have access to these super-powered labs and gaming collaborations with the top leading gaming companies of such as Apple, Adobe, EA Sports, Microsoft, and so many more. In fact, one of my very good friends, Sabish, is an interactive designer from SCAD, and he has literally changed the face of tech giants such as Adobe, Google, and now works at Facebook. So imagine having these Fortune 500 companies, the top listings of the world's profile or your resume with that level of expertise and creating new ideas and coming up with new creative solutions for their companies. That is what I'm talking about. These new programs and these new industries are requiring more and more of creative designers. So to talk about building arts, to help you understand what type of fields come under this umbrella of building arts. Now, many know about interior design because, well, it's the prime of creating a home. You may also know about architecture. You understand industrial design, design management. But to many people's surprise, when we talk about new and upcoming, there are very specific fields that are coming out. So urban design is recognized as one, and at SCAD, we have a very specialized accreditation and recognition for this field called as Masters of Urban Design, MUD. We have design for sustainability. You also have very specific majors like furniture design and so many more that are coming about. So to begin with, industrial design is a field that shapes our world from games to gadgets, from bicycles to boats, and even high chairs to helmets. Because if you are somebody who's into math, science, or technology, and you want to tap in all of those skills with the creative side, and you're not sure what kind of field may work in your favor, then I would invite you to look at industrial design. This is a true collaboration and a mix of technology with design. So you could be a great fit for this field with your technological and intellectual gifts. For example, when students wonder about how do we create footwear, does it come under fashion? It's not necessary. Industrial designers even design products like shoes, because I can tell you hands-on experiences like Quinton Williams, he creates these shoes for NBA basketball players. So a product can range from anything. It doesn't have to be only automobiles or buildings. It could be absolutely any technological or any product that we use on a day-to-day life basis. Sustainable design or architecture programs. Now, I know that students are very aware of architecture, so I really won't bore you with the introduction of this field, but I do want to tell you guys, find for a university which offers you the best features and amazing opportunities for these fields of sustainable architecture. Our architecture program at SCAD is one of the few in the country that offer this feature of an integrated path to architectural license, which means that it's an accelerated academic track that will help prepare our students to be licensed architects in as few as 7 years compared to the normal routine timeline of 15 years. That's half time saved right there. So as a SCAD student, you get hands-on experiences, creating new ideas to reality, and also developing world-class designs for product for sustainable architecture. And which is why I'll always encourage students, if you have an inclination to understand urban or architectural design, do look up these programs and understand them of how well you could pursue a career with the right kind of license to practice. So with that, I also want to talk a little bit about fashion careers, because when it comes, we also have fashion as one of our segmentations. And now for fashion industries within SCAD, I'm sure you know about fashion design, where you're creating garments and beautiful, accessible wares. But we also have accessory design, jewelry design, which are very familiar programs. But to most people's surprise, there are fields where you need not only create garments. You could study for marketing and management of fashion. If you're coming at a bachelor's level, that's the program for you. If you're coming at a master's level, then luxury and fashion management will be impressive to understand the business and professional practices of the world. We also have a very new and upcoming major called Business of Beauty and Fragrance, because it's a $5 industry as of today. And we need people to be prepared for that kind of industry. We have a very specialized field for fibers, because that entails completely about fiber design. So with our fashion departments, I do have to tell you that SCAD ranks #1 by the business of fashion, which is a very esteemed, recognition for any department or any field when it comes to fashion. And we've been having that recognition for many, many years. So take, for example, our professor, Melanie Moore, who was the executive director of marketing at Estee Lauder, and she has helped create and pioneer our program for Business of Beauty and Fragrance. So when students take her classes, they understand the world trends of this amazing $1 million industry of beauty and fragrances. So I just want to give you an example about the creative path and the career opportunities our students get when they come for fashion. After his graduation at SCAD, designer Christopher John Rogers launched his fashion label with his fellow SCAD students. So we had a team of Chris, Julia, Alexandra, David, and Christina, and you see their work and iconic garments on many famous people. So the most recent one was with our Vice President, Kamala Harris, and also with Michelle Obama, with Whoopi Goldberg. Rihanna has worn her garments, as well as Lizzo. So if you know about these iconic people, you know the level of networking opportunities you can access when you come to creative careers and our university. With that, I also want to tell you guys that it is very important to keep preparing for your career from day one. And we take that very seriously, and that's the vision for SCAD students. And I'm so happy to tell you guys that our employment success rate is the highest, and it can't get better than this because it's 99%. And with that, I also want to tell you all, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with our admission team, because that's how you can explore these creative careers. Your first step will be to get admitted to the university. Send us an email, connect with Dilip or myself at the booth for SCAD. Or if you just want to take a picture of my email address and send me a hi, hello text at the end of the day, we'd be happy to your questions in the future. So thank you all for joining in. And if you guys have any questions post this presentation, I'll just read them through from the chat box and we'll answer them one by one. All right, so we have a question. I'll go to the top. All right, let's scroll. From Shweta Singh, if we opt for e-learning, will we get the same opportunities for internships and jobs? Absolutely, Shweta. And that is what we strive to offer our students because we want you to have the same experiences, the same networking opportunities, even if you are not able to travel to the US. That is exactly what we've been doing for the past 40 years. And to everyone's surprise, I know that COVID changed the scene of the world when it came to the virtual platform learning, but we have been doing this for so many years to connect with people from with professionals and industries all over the world, which is why we are recognized as a global university. In fact, I will tell you guys to also check out this amazing platform called Guests and Gusto at SCAD. When you log on to our website and look out for Guests and Gusto, you can connect with top interior designers, fashion designers. You can talk to graphic designers. We have Tom Hardy, who is the IBM creator teaching at SCAD as a faculty. So imagine these top people coming to the university, connecting with you online as well as in class, and giving you the right entry into these careers. The next question. Currently, all of my portfolio is based on B-Arch. What should I do to improve my portfolio for a master's in animation? So if you are switching fields, I understand that there might be changes of careers constantly because we're still exploring options in our life. And that happens with many of our students. But I'm going to give you a very simple example. If you have an architectural background and you only show us work that is related to architecture, but you're applying for animation, we will not be able to recognize your animation related skills. So I will request you, Sneha, to take some more time, create a portfolio that is geared specifically to the program you want to apply for. Because it's just like science. If you want to be a doctor, you need to have some background about science. You cannot just enter without any knowledge. We don't want you to be in an environment where you don't understand what the professor is talking about in terms of softwares, in terms of creative professional practices. So do take some extra time to work on your portfolio, develop something that is specific to the guidelines of animation, because that's your intended major to apply for a master's program. Yoshita, I have a BDes degree in visual communication. Would MDes be a good fit for me if I'm looking to expand into film or photography or user experience design as an interdisciplinary program? Okay, so for students who are still confused about what field to take for their master's program, there's no general degree that is offered. Masters indirectly mean that it's a specialized pathway. So you would a specialized program selected for your career. And because you come from a very vast background of visual communication, you can dive into either of these fields. But I will tell you, if you're applying for photography, then create portfolios that will only be related to photography. If it is film, then also understand that you need to create works that are very specified only for film. Do not provide a different background of portfolio works because that's not going to help our faculty understand whether you know the basics of this particular field. So I encourage you all to go through the portfolio guidelines on our website, take a look at those, and try and create a portfolio that checks all the boxes for those requirements. Okay. We have Pramodini. I want to do my undergrad in media arts. What will be the core subjects for applying to college? That's great. You're in 11th grade. So I know that there's an exciting one more year of high school education that you need to complete. And to answer your first question, for our university at SCAD, we're not looking at very specific subjects. You can choose whichever subjects you feel will be your strongest points. Okay, so feel free to take math if you're very good at it, but if you're not interested and you're in an IB curriculum, you have the option of choosing your subjects. Go with whatever works in your favor. The second point, the second question is what kind of portfolio should be made? Now, for my undergraduate, that's my high school students who are coming for a bachelor's degree program, you need not worry about what field or what career your portfolio needs to show. Right now, you're just coming fresh out of high school, and we want you to show anything that is remotely creative. So, for the bachelor's programs, especially only for undergraduate students. If you wish to submit a portfolio for scholarship purposes, you can show different ranges of creative inclinations. It could be sketches, it could be design related work, it could be writing samples, because writing is also considered as a creative skill. Then you could show photography work, you could show film work. If you are into performing arts, which is dance, music, or theater, you could even submit snippets of those videos into your portfolio. So, right now, if you're coming out of high school, all we need to see is your creative inclination. And that can come in many forms of creative works. So, don't restrict yourself in terms of graphics or animation, because we want you to explore all these fields in the first year of your undergraduate program and then decide a major for your second, third, and fourth year. It will be a different scenario if you're applying for a master's program, because we have to ensure that you come with a specialized skill set for a master's degree. But bachelor's, don't worry about it right now. Okay? Great questions, guys. Thank you so much. We do have some more. Does jewelry design have good scope post-COVID? Absolutely. In fact, during COVID, we've had so many accessory and jewelry designers come up with so many innovative ideas for fashion and for jewelry. In fact, I want you to take some time and go through our jewelry program, because we have a very special video created for the designers who worked virtually and came up with amazing solutions for overcoming this pandemic, job restriction. In fact, the students who graduated last year, it's never been so successful because creative fields are in demand right now. So we encourage you to take some time and understand that it's a mix of technology with creativity. And this is required by every field, every industry as of today. It's not just design, it's healthcare, it's medicine, it is automobile industries, they have finance industries. Everyone requires a designer on their team. So look at these opportunities not just within creative careers, but expanding as a creative designer into the whole world. Ria said, is there any scope of psychology with designing? Absolutely, Ria. With every field, we actually have integrations of understanding a user and a consumer, because you are creating a design for them. You know, at the end of the day, you are developing ideas for a customer. So there will be a lot of research when it comes to understanding your users, depending on the type of field you choose. So even if it is fashion and you're creating fashion for toddlers, you will have to understand the mindsets, the color mapping, the brand, research the markets that are very specific to toddlers. If you are creating a advertising campaign for for a high-end customer, then you will be learning about the psychology aspects for that customer. So user experience or user research comes integrated with every field that we teach for creative careers. Ruthvi, is GRE necessary for applying on masters? So Ruthvi, I'm going to talk very specific to SCAD because this may vary from university to university. Guys, I can't stress this enough. You need to do a little research when it comes to the choice of universities that you wish to apply for. If you are applying for SCAD, I can tell you confidently that we do not need GRE scores. All we need for your master's degree would be your bachelor's degree transcripts. We will need your portfolio that is very specific to the field that you're applying for master's. And we'll also need resumes, letters of recommendations, and your statement of purpose. Because we want to know that if you're coming with this intention of studying a master's program, we have to see your basics that are set within that field. It necessarily does not mean that you have to study that for your bachelor's. You could have a very different bachelor program, but when you're applying for master's, ensure that your portfolio will show works that resonate with the requirements of that field. Pramodini, we can meet you back into our SCAD booth in a couple of minutes because Philip and I will be sharing our email addresses at the end of the session. So feel free to connect with us there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to see you all very soon in our SCAD booth. I do know that there are a few more questions, so if you guys want to leave the session and meet us in the booth, that's great. I will still be taking on a few more questions till we end this session. Okay. Harnoor, I'm a high school student and I don't know much about the technical stuff. So is it important to know computers or technicals? Oh, not at all, Harnoor. You're still in high school. Right now, your focus is on mathematics, physics, science, right? And when you come to SCAD, we will teach you everything from the basics. So do not worry about learning computers or technical stuff right now. You will learn all of that in the foundation year. What are the scopes to animation? Oh, that's a great question, Nisa. Students who wish to pursue a career in animation will lead to become character designers, creative animators. You can work with editorial animation. You can work with animation as an animated industry with Disney, Pixar. You can work for Google to create the new Google Doodle every day. So anything that is related to moving graphics with character design or creating a story for animation will be a great career move for animators. Can you tell about the graphic design portfolio? So Mridula, this is going to sound like I'm giving you homework, but I would request you to log on to our website and look at the category that says portfolio guidelines. When you click on graphic design, we have a paragraph of the requirements that we need for a graphic design portfolio. And this is specifically if you're applying for a master's program. If you're applying for an undergraduate program, I'm going to reiterate this. We do not need a portfolio that is very degree specific because you're still coming out of high school. But if you're applying for masters, ensure that your portfolio is specified to that field. Janvi, are there summer programs this year for high school students? Yes, we do. We have, actually we have many different types of summer programs. So I'm just gonna briefly give you an overview. Again, there's a lot of information about summer programs on our website. So take your time, watch those videos because they do a fabulous job of explaining what the summer program means. So we have is a week-long summer program, which is called Summer Seminars. Then we have Rising Star, which is a 5-week-long program where you will be taking college-level classes. And so you can have college credits bagged into your, your high school time, even before you're accepted to the university. Or if you are very interested in pursuing a career in art and design, then I would recommend you to check out our dual enrollment program. That's not just a summer program, but it is your chance to start taking high school college level classes while you're in high school. And we do offer a 50% scholarship grant for those classes because in grade 11th and 12th, you will be taking one class of the college level bachelor's program every quarter. So that's double work. I know that sounds too stressful, but when you're doing that, we will offer you the half tuition grant. So do check out dual enrollment. That's the first one. The second one would be your summer seminars. And the third one is Rising Stars for summer programs. All right. Kritika, I noticed that MA and MFA program in interiors design is not for those with non-design backgrounds. Kritika, that might not be very true because, so whenever you come for a master's, you will be expected to know the basics, right? It's like doing PhD in science where you cannot come with a psychology degree. You need to know the basics of science. So the same applies for a master's program in the field of design. But when it comes to MA is more theory based with business professional explorations. We are teaching you more about the market, we're teaching you about the industry. And MA is that kind of a program. It's a 1 year, minimum 1 year program where you will be connecting with companies because you already have a background set in that field. MFA is a more in-depth and is also considered as the highest degree when it comes to design fields. So MFA is a longer process. It's a minimum of 2 years degree program, but you will learn about softwares, you will learn about business professional practices, you will have networking opportunities, you have an internship, and also an MFA will require for every student to pursue and submit a thesis. So it is the equivalent of a PhD in this field of design. So if you guys compare the curriculums, you will see that there are more programs in an MFA versus an MA. And my recommendation is if you come from a different background for design and you wish to apply for masters, I would recommend for you to choose the MFA because that will also teach you the software requirements and it has more project related work. MA would be suggested to those who may have a very strong base in design and just wish to pursue a higher skilled level job or wish to connect with the right industry through that, in that field of design. Okay, so moving to the next question with, where did I go? Okay, guys, I think we have to close the booth in a couple of minutes, but like I said, if we miss out on any questions, feel free to connect with us at Savannah College of Art and Design booth. We are there till another 45 minutes. Mr. Dilip and I, we work on the same team, so feel free to email us with your questions and we'll reach out to you very soon. Okay, so with that, I want to thank everyone for logging into this session. I hope the presentation was more informative about the upcoming career opportunities that we can offer all our students coming to SCAD. And with that, I want to say thank you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon in the SCAD booth. Bye.